Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, this is Beyond Technical Analysis. Let's look at what we got. Um, if you don't understand why this rectangle is here, let me start by saying this. Please go and watch the forecast that was published on Friday, the recording published on Friday. You understand this and why price is respecting this zone. Okay, I don't want to repeat things I had discussed in depth. Okay, in depthly, I guess, in depthly. Okay, or discuss deeply. So let's look at this. For pound, British pound, Japanese yen, I'll be looking for buys above this zone. More importantly, this horizontal line could be an area of interest. Then for sales, these sales will not be as promising right now. Yes, it will play out, but my bias is for buys because on the 1 hour time frame, we're in buyer's territory. On the 4 hours time frame, we're buyer's territory. On the daily, we're also in buyer's territory. In fact, monthly, weekly, we are all in buyer's territory. So any sales you see or any sell you see, it is considered a counter trend sell. Okay, and that will require some getting used to the market, how it behaves. So if this sell is more or less a counter trend, so let's do a little post analysis. I was looking at taking buys on the break of this high, or if price gives me some deeper retracement, looking at taking buys on the break of this bearish market structure where price will do, for instance, retest of the low, then failure, counter trend continuation. Okay, lopsided V formation, give me my test 1, test 2. Okay, fair value price, then rally upwards. Please, if you don't understand this terminology, um, let me know. But if you do, good. But for those of you here in the live session, you can ask me. I know most of you are aware of it. For the advanced traders here, or should I say the elite traders, you will understand it. So most times I take the counter trend trades because it's something that could be easy to catch so far as you're getting used to it. But it is not advisable because it is better to flow with the current. Just like if you're a swimmer in a river, better to swim in the direction of the current until you get to where you're going to. Swimming against the direction of the current could be very stressful unless you want to go underwater. You understand, like a scuba diver, go deep. Okay, but this is for swimmers. I'm just trying to give an analogy. So for this, I took buys on the break of the high since the retracement was only a weak retracement using this bullish candle. This bullish candle printed an open of price here, dropped, went up, then closed here. This is a lopsided V formation. So what we'll be looking out for is for price to give me test 1, test 2. So buys could have been taken here, but I don't like taking this kind of trade buys. I prefer taking the buys where I'm expecting what I know as the home run. So on the break of this high, price just kept printing bullish candles. I closed 80% of my total positions. Then price retraced with my stop loss at break even or so. I was taken out, but it's okay. I've already amassed some good profits. So what happened was, as you can see, price is still respecting the stop loss. Okay, price is still above the stop loss. So let's see if price is still above the stop loss. So far as price has hit our take profit, I'm not really like prone. I just want to see what price will do. It has already given us our take profit. If it had not hit our take profit, then retraced, I would have said, okay, it must definitely give me my TP. But please, that kind of mentality is based on the market structure and reading of some other parameters. Don't use that mentality for all concepts or all trade ideas, okay? Just be fluid like me. When you say counter trend, you take the counter trend, but for you, don't rush into taking counter trends. Imagine, let me give this scenario. Imagine that you are in a boat with a paddle. Which one is easier? And you are in the boat here, okay? You're with your paddle, and this is the current direction of the river, and you're paddling. Let's say you are alone, even if you're with somebody. Which one is easier? If the current is coming downwards, now, but for this particular scenario, let me draw the current going upwards. For this particular scenario, if the current is going upwards, which one is easier to reach equal distance from where you started? Let's say you were dropped somewhere in the river, and from here to point, let's say X up, and point X down is equal distance. Which one will be easier to get to? Is it X up or X down? Certainly it will be X up, because the current will make it easier to paddle through. In fact, it's just like the water is giving you a push, a boost. Even when your hands are tired, you still notice that you're going forward as anticipated. But if you want to go against the current is going north and you want to go south, you have to do twice, and you have to devise a different strategy to move south, especially if you're paddling. It's not like a mechanized, like a speedboat. If you're paddling, you have to devise a different strategy. Here, irrespective of the strategy, your bias will be correct. Here, irrespective of your bias, your strategy would help you to stand out. So that is the difference. So looking at it here, it's like going paddling against the current, which is what? Up. So safe buys will be below this zone here. Safe safe sells rather will be below this zone. Safe buys will be above this zone. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at for GJ for today. But let me state this: GJ is in a very, very, very critical situation. Okay, what do I mean? Just a moment, I will explain. GJ is in a critical situation. Let's look at the weekly. Let me show you. This is what I'm talking about. This is some resistance. This bullish candle broke and closed above, so I was anticipating more momentum, but then I still have to merge it with my strategy, which made me to see these cells. Now, this cell, the candle closed below this resistance, so it's just like you being in a range. So if this bullish candle, if this particular candle fails to close above or break this high and it flips bearish, we could anticipate more sells. Now you'll be like, oh, this is different from what he normally explains. True. Different strategies are mined or called or referenced depending on the type of candlesticks that have been printed and the type of market structure. Okay, but overall each hand is helping the other hand. It's as simple as that. In a nutshell, this hand is helping that hand, nothing different about it. So you could look at it this way, that there's the possibility that this candle could drop to fill this wick. We are in a range. If you look at it this way, this is the ping, down, pong, up. Then let's see if it will give us ping 2. For those of you who like doing resistance 1, resistance 2, they may have already placed their sell order without stop loss. For those who are like, I am setting off the bias. Yes, it played that well for them. If you place your sales, let's say sell limit, price dipped, however, dumped, they will take a huge profit here. The same way, since price had not tapped the base, most people will be anticipating more bearish momentum. But this is another way of reading the chart. Okay, it does not mean that you should stick to just one strategy. One strategy should help as a confluence to understand the other one. Okay, now let's look at something else. Let's look at gold. Now gold is kind of shy sometimes. Okay, is a shy individual sometimes. This is what I mean. Let's do some post analysis first. I was looking at buys from here. It triggered the buys, came down, stop loss was not hit yet, entered again. Oh, beautiful. Then what happened? One just massive bearish candle took the trade out, and as it was taking me out here, it was activating these cells and played out to give me my 1 arrow. So why the buys gave me minus 1 arrow, the sells gave me plus 1 arrow. So I was more or less in a break even. The only cost I paid was the cost of commission, my commission cost. Okay. What I mean by gold can be shy sometimes is if it wants to rally, it rallies. If it wants to dump, it dumps. But when it starts holding, something strong is making it to hold. So safe buys could be above here and sells below this zone down. In fact, it is safer to take sell below here to do what? To mirror this clean traffic here, just like what happened in this situation. This is one thing I've learned over the years. You don't miss any move. No opportunity is. I know forex is the way you. It's not like real life where you say an opportunity missed cannot be gotten again. In forex, once you notice a clean traffic, that clean traffic, if price wants to drop, could mirror that clean traffic like it was depicted here. This clean traffic was mirrored. If you watch the video I think I did for Wednesday, that should be on the 15th, 16th or 17th. You will see where this forecast was given. For those of you who are live, yeah, they're already commenting that. Yeah, I can see your chart. This is, it played out beautifully. And let's do something. Let me just do something quickly. If you look at this here, where I said I wouldn't want to take buys below this white horizontal line, but above. The same thing played out here. This was activated. I didn't place stop loss then because I didn't know how deep this would go. But this sells, which was counter trend sells, played beautifully before retracing. Then there was a slam dunk. Look at it. Clean traffic. No encumbrance. No headache. It just dropped. Now, buys will be on the break of this zone, buys, which is still in confluence with this particular buy position that was, if you see this green kind of shade. As you can see, if you, let's say you are taking your buys on the break of the high with stop loss below, let's say here, you would have gotten your 1 arrow. Look at it. Okay, to the teeth, like no one was cheated. Gotten your one, and immediately he tapped your 1 arrow. What did he do? He started giving you some, in my Nigerian language they say, gold started doing shakara. Okay, I think this is the term Fela Anil Olapokuti said, or is simply called Fela Kuti, the king of African kind of magic sounds. This is Shakara. He started giving us some retracement, and as you can see, this did not play out for the buys, but it played out for the sells. So what I'm looking at is this. Quite straightforward actually. Quite straightforward. Is I'm anticipating buys on the break of this high. For the sells below this zone, just like I stated. Buys above this zone. Okay. Buys here, sells below here to mirror this clean traffic here. It's as simple as this. So this is for gold. Now let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is receiving the worst days of its entire life at the moment. For those who are buying the hype, experienced traders will say, buy the rumor, sell the news. People were the moment people were buying the news instead of being skeptical. In fact, my mentor would say, if everyone knows about it, then it's already too late. Okay? I was shocked when my mother, who knew nothing about crypto some years back, was asking me what was Bitcoin. Then I knew something was wrong. The mass volume of people who were depositing their money, calling themselves investors, pushed the rally, pushed price to do what? Rally. Afterwards, after that frantic rally, price did what? Dumped. It's somewhat, the chart is somewhat like this. I think I have a chart somewhat like this. The chart is somewhat like this, where, okay, somewhat like this. I think I would try to look for the chart like this. So this was what people were buying. This was what happened later, and this dump. You want to see this clearly? Okay. I'll be pleased to show you this particular structure. Let me show you. So pleased to show you. In fact, let me go to the monthly. Yep. Tell me if what you see here is different from what you have here. Yeah, it may not print word for word, but watch this. Okay. So if this is O, 1, 2, 3, let's label it like this. O, 1, all of this, 2, this, 3. And this is the what? Dump. Now this is the phase we call despair, where people start questioning the ability to read the market. This is the despair phase. Okay, so well, this is, like I said, this is beyond technical analysis. If you can look at this, in fact, this sales was predicted on this particular channel long before it happened. Okay, long before it happened. Just check. I think, yeah, this is what I indicated these cells. Let me do this. Let me clean this. This cells was predicted here. Below here, sells. Above here, buys. The buys did not play out because price failed to bullishly break this, but dumped, bearishly broke this. And what happened? It has been doing what? Dipping ever since. And my forecast is that price will dip at least to $14,000. Okay, I think to $14,000. This is my forecast. At least $14,000 thereabout. Okay, well, let's see what happens. For today on Bitcoin, what are we going to do on Bitcoin? Bitcoin, we are more sell biased, first of all. So I'll be looking for sales below this zone. Okay, don't sell above, sells below. Buys, this is where it becomes interesting. Buys would have to occur above this zone. Safe buys will be above here. Safe, then sweet sells will be below here. Okay, sells, then buys. Then if we want to do in hindsight some post analysis for gold, this is what I'm looking at. We made a forecast that on the break of this low, just like we are doing now, on the break of this low, we're anticipating more sales. Look at this sweet drop, price dropped, gave some retracement, another what? Drop. But if you gauge the momentum of the candles, you see that this was stronger than this. Gauge the leg coming down versus the leg going up. You will notice that this leg going up was stronger than this leg coming down. And again, when it dropped again, it even failed to match the previous low, then turned bullish. Okay, sweet buys could have been taken on the break of this high, stop loss here to go high. Sweet buys could have been taken there. Now I'm giving you sweet sells will be taken below here to dump. It's as easy as ABC. Okay, now I open the floor to ask your questions, but at the moment I'm going to try and upload this for those who missed the live class or forecast so that they can partake of it. The only thing I ask from you is to subscribe, hit that notification button. If you got some questions, you comment. If you got appreciative words, you comment. Then don't forget to hit the like. If you've not done that, ask yourself, are you going to pay a dime doing that? You're receiving this free of charge. So for the YouTube algorithm and to ensure that this message gets to a larger audience, do well to subscribe. Hit that notification button, comment. You can ask your questions and definitely I'll do my best to answer it as quickly as possible. Then hit the like. Okay, it's a win-win. Okay, live and let live, or help and let help. Okay, let's be our brother's keeper or our sister's keeper or whatever binary you possess keeper. Okay, so peace till next time. Bye for now.